Governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oborevwori, has threatened to move council chairmen over the security challenges in the state. Oborevwori, who stated this in Asaba, issued a stern warning to local government chairmen in Delta State over lapses in security leadership. The governor, who was worried by the growing insecurity in parts of the state, issued a stern warning to local government council chairmen, insisting that consistent attendance and active participation in monthly security council meetings are non-negotiable. The governor vowed to hold the Algon chairman and his executives responsible for the failure of council chairmen to hold regular security council meetings and charged council chairmen to work together with the traditional rulers in the local government areas. He said, as a governor, I manage all the traditional rulers in the state. So if I can manage all of them, you can also manage the traditional rulers in your respective local government areas. Look at the rates of crime in our society today. Our children are into drugs and all sorts of social vices. So you need to check what is happening around you. We will not take any form of laxity from any chairman. By the time we use one or two persons as examples, others will sit up, he said. But the question is, yes, we know as a state governor, you have your role to play. Local government chairmen have their roles to play. You know, some people will come to say that it's not everything that it's expected of the federal government to handle. That's why they have the hierarchy, the state, local, and the federal. You know, urging I wouldn't say I'm trying to get the word for it, but you know, putting it to them that they are the architects of security in the state. Do you think that was a good move, please?
Well, to start with, it's very unfortunate, but that's the reality we are in. I think it was J.F. Kennedy who said that any society that cannot guarantee the welfare of the majority cannot secure the safety of the minority. Do you understand? and this is where I say that majority of our leaders are bereft. They are not thinking ahead. They are not thinking ahead. See, there is nothing as terrible as insecurity. I'm telling you. That you can walk on the road like this and you don't know whether I'm carrying a pistol in my pocket. I can just bring it out and blow somebody's head. And the rest will run. Nobody cares. If these leaders have known the consequences of what they are doing, okay, look at, it also know that it's engaging in unconstitutional action. What he's saying now. Because the local government is a constitutionally guaranteed office. Do you understand? It's a constitutional, because they are the real people that touch on the lives of the people.
Like you mean directly?
They have direct this thing. But are they the choice of the people?
So does that mean they don't have a role to play when it comes to the security of their
these are the things you cannot deny. Do you understand? They usually say this, that a lady who is scheming to move her friend out of her married home to take over should not forget that the cane that the man used on that her friend will also wait for her. Do you understand it? Evil rotates, it spins around. And what Kennedy is saying there is that nobody can escape it. Do you understand? Because if our leaders could just conceptualize what is going on, because one of the most difficult things to deal with is management of human beings. I always remember graphically how Thomas Sankara was killed. Blaise Compaoré and him were together at a public function on a day. But Sankara did not know that Blaise Compaoré have already arranged and the coup that took place that night. Sankara was among those that were killed. I think the only handwriting that demarcated his grave from others. They wrote on this Sankara, Thomas Sankara, nothing more. Killed him. It's his right hand man. Do you understand? That is how terrible the heart of man. When the Bible says that the heart of man is desperately wicked and deceitful, God even asks, who can understand it? It's only God that understands how the mind works. So, I always say this to our leaders. I give you a graphic example of what happened in these states. We find a situation wherein the chief executive told the chairman not to do anything except paying salary. He was now dictating everything. In fact, he crumbled the entire structure. So whoever will be in charge of local. So this one that is threatening that they will remove them. Does he know he's engaging in unconstitutional this thing? He will remove them by what means? When their tenure is still running. Does he know what he's talking? Who is his legal advisor? Unfortunately, the law has been turned on its head in this country. And that's why I agree with the position that there's nothing as frustrating as being a lawyer in the
So what are you trying to, what are you trying to make out of there, Barrister Mankey? You know, yes, on the other hand, the question would be, you know, holding security meetings that the governor has asked them to, would that aid or reduce the insecurity in the state when nothing is actually done on that aspect? First off, that's on the other hand. But secondly, they are not supposed to lay back, and just like you said, the local government chairman, the local chairmen have direct access to the people. So if they actually have direct access to the people, they have higher possibility of knowing the things to be done. You know, in that aspect of, I'm just saying out loud, I'm just thinking out loud in that instance. They should actually point out things and then send it to the state governor that, you know, could actually get to send it to the federal government on how to, you know, reduce the insecurity in the state. I'm just saying that's on the firstly. And then I wanted to refer back to some states in the Northeast are also affected by insecurity at the moment. Is it that they have not held security meetings? And if they have held security meetings, what has been done to reduce the insecurity happening in those states? So it's not just about holding security meetings when nothing gets to be done in that aspect. You know, I'm just asking on that.
No, you said the obvious. You see, one thing is having security meeting, right? Who are the people having the security meeting? You can be physically with the people, but your heart is not with them. That's the most dangerous aspect. When my heart is with you, that's when I can stand with you, even in your absence. When you have to talk about backstabbers, they are with you, they are eating with you. They are eating, talking with you to get current information from you. As you people part, these are the people that are going to pass the information. They are going to mention where you're going to be in the next moment, and you don't know. So it's not merely having security meeting. The body language of this very present government, the body language, I insist, and I'm saying it here, the body language of this present APC government is in favor of terrorism. You may ask me, why do you say so?
You keep making this statement, and I keep telling you.
I hope
before you make statements like this, Barrister Mankey, maybe you can come with it and show it to us that these are my evidence. I'm just saying.
Permit me.
I'm not permitting, but I'm saying that you cannot make statements that you do not have proofs over them. We've had this conversation over and over again.
I'm telling you that Bala Muhammad is there. Bala Muhammad. In fact, there is a recent case of a governor that has granted pardon to people that kill farmers, and the villagers are protesting. Are you not aware of it?
Yes.
For villagers to protest, that should send a signal to you. Even if a person is physically blind, you cannot tell the person, you can't deceive the person about the saltiness or otherwise of a soup. Do you understand? You can't. Except the person has problem with the text port. So there are things that our leaders cannot deceive us about. For villagers to protest. You heard of the other time that people that took the life of a DPU. Do you understand? It tells you the extent. And that's why I keep telling our leaders, why are they behaving as if they cannot read the handwriting on the wall? 2023, Nigerians flew into this country to vote. You see, 2027 is going to be a do or die affair. Because Nigerians, majority of them who are abroad, they are tired. Some of them are physically facing racism. and they can't take it. And they know the enormity of wealth in this country. And they know what our so-called leaders are doing with the wealth of this country. Look at what's happening in Burkina Faso. That the West is trying to gang up. But now I'm happy that globally, there's another people too who are rising up to say we will not allow Gaddafi incident to happen again. So right here where we are, once the locals, what is emboldening the terrorists? Can they overpower the Nigerian security agency? No. I can tell you that, no. In Africa, they dread Nigerian security agents. We do well internationally. But when the commander-in-chief body language is speaking otherwise, there's nothing you can do. Even when they go hunting, you hear the hunters. There is a particular ringleader who carries the whistle. There's a sound that he makes, which is an active encouragement to the dogs. Even if things are turning against them, you see the dogs fighting all out because they know that that is the language that tells them that there will be meat after this expedition if they did well. Do you understand it? That's it. So when you see such body language, when a mother encourages the child, even though the child failed in exam, say, don't worry. Me, I'm behind you. I'm not encouraging your failure. This one should not define you. Sit down and read. I will wake you up. Right? I'll pay for class for you. Do me, make me proud. Point the child and say, you remember Ben Carson? I'll buy the book for you. Read it. Ben Carson came from a very poor background. People like Charles Apoki came from a very poor background. That man that will always tell people that Pharaoh slept under his bed. When they are returning from federal government college, he will tell his friend to stop him somewhere that he want to visit the people. You don't want him to know that he lives in the ghetto. But today he's a world-class man. You can point that to your children. You can point life to your children. And once you succeed in infusing this in them, what is the security that the state governor can point out? When you pick somebody that will serve your interest and not the interest of the people, I'll give you a practical example in this state. There was a young man that rose up in Onega as council chairman, right? He's my colleague. Though I disagree with him on certain things, his name is Olise. The young man gave his heart. You are driving and you don't have a tubeless, or you didn't have money to buy tubeless. There's no big deal about it. And then your tire goes down. Constantly will not fix it. You must come down, or you put to a vulcanizer spray or the same vulcanizer. Your big English will not solve the problem. So he should first of all realize, because if there's a difference between shepherd and hiring. And hiring will see a lion coming, he will take off, but the shepherd will stand. Do you understand? Somebody whose heart is with the people. When you bring in people for whatever you call political reasoning, that don't stand with the people. Most of these local government chairmen don't even stay with the people. They are always in town. Right?
So don't you think that was one of the reasons why he made the statement over that?
That they are always in town. They did not know when they picked them. Because I can tell you what is happening in River State is what is happening all over. What is happening everywhere we see is what is happening all over. In Nigerian situation, the insecurity, okay, let's say they go for a meeting and they bring out a blueprint. I told you the other time, in this place we are covered by a division. Right? If there is something criminal that is going on here, until the DPO gives an instruction, nothing will happen. None of his men. In fact, if any person come here, they can charge him for something less, for going out of order in terms of the direction that they give. They can court-martial the fellow. So that is the way these things go. So when you now look at the larger body, you know we don't have state police yet. Everything is controlled from the center. You have commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So when you structure this and then give it out, I told you, go to police station, police will tell you.
Well, what kind of structure? Because I'm trying to figure out what you think the governor should do to. What happens is that
if these people have their meeting, right, and then they will root and tell the governor, this is what we feel is the solution to this problem.
Okay.
He is supposed to move it up. So what becomes of it? When I tell you that the body language of the government appear to be in okay. Do you know here of the hunters? Do you know here of the hunters?
How will I heard about it?
The hunters, that is the root of what is happening here. They say kidnapping. They are the hunters. They came to River State here. I told you in element
so
here.
how would this security the local chairman, you know, get to the root of the cause when, like you stated, most of them are in cities, whereas the people that are in the rural communities? How would they find out what the problem is to send out the information? That's why I still asked you. Don't you think that was the reason why he made this threat on them?
No, the people at the village, nobody died without crying out. Very rare. They pass the information to them. Even the insecurity relating from herdsmen, they pass it to them.
So we're bringing out the solution, sending to him to the highest hierarchy.
To the highest hierarchy.
Bring
the highest
out
hierarchy.
the solution. Will it bring out the solution of the insecurity?
It will not bring, because the body language of the power that be up there is in favor of the people who are powering the insecurity.
All right.
How can they describe a whole state like River State as a hunting ground?
We'll get to your thoughts on that, Barrister Banky.
When we are serious, we will face it.